Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio for a red Thursday. For some reason, Ned's... the only red he's got is on the American flag pin, but we'll let that slide. He does have some red on. We did get a double shot of good news yesterday, and that was the fact that not only Nick Bolton is looking to be back tonight against the Broncos in Kansas City, but also our man, Mr. Pfizer, is coming back.
Yeah, he'll get both of them, and they are good to go. Now, I say Bolton's good to go. He will play. He still has probably a sore ankle, but he's going to be in there, and he will play. Now, the others are listed as questionable. Now, the question is, what is questionable? Well, it's really football's way of saying game time decision, and that's essentially what it's going to be for Travis Kelce and Karlaftis and Tommy Townsend, all of whom are on the questionable list. Kelce, for obvious reasons, with a sore ankle, although I think he will probably play. And he may not start with Noah Gray on the team, but he may see a lot of action. This is the Denver Broncos they're playing, folks. Even though it's pro football, they're not really very good. Karlaftis has a hamstring injury. That's probably a little bit more serious. And Tommy Townsend has a banged-up knee. He's the punter. And he's a very good punter. And that presents some problems to the Chiefs, but in all honesty, Mike, I don't think the Chiefs will be punting very often tonight. 10.5-point favorite over Denver, and that in and of the, maybe the betting realm of things, that speaks for itself. That's a pretty good number.
You're right, and fingers crossed that all those guys are back and healthy, but again, there is no easy game in the NFL, and as I always say, when these AFC West divisional opponents play each other, it don't matter if they're 0-5 or 5-0, there's going to be a battle, and there's going to be a battle in Kansas City tonight. Speaking of Kansas, how do you feel about this whole KU thing?
Well, I'm only mildly surprised at what happened, but times have changed. Since that 2017 FBI investigation, it uncovered all manner of corruption in college basketball, and several assistant coaches were arrested, along with a member of a large sporting group that supplied illegal funds. But back then, it was illegal. It isn't now. Nonetheless, it occurred at a time when things were not really copacetic in any of college basketball, and Kansas was among those accused of perhaps giving illegal payments to players and receiving illegal circumstances like equipment and so forth from other companies. Well, a lawyer group, this is a group of independent lawyers hired by the NCAA to investigate each of the cases, decided yesterday that Kansas had paid enough of a penalty. Kansas called a penalty on itself back in 2021, and they reduced their scholarships. They chastised Coach Bill Self, which was, a several-game suspension or something like that. And the lawyers, the independent lawyers panel said, hey, that's enough. The case is closed. They've suffered, so to speak, enough. Kansas never suffers. They're always pretty doggone good.
They've got the money.
Well, that's exactly it. They have the money. And you have to remember that what was illegal then is now legal.
Yeah.
Well, should that have any bearing? No, not really, because there was a violation that had occurred back about, 8 or 9 years ago. But I think that probably had a subconscious effect on the lawyer's decision. So KU's out and finished, and the whole investigation is finished, and on we go with players getting money legally.
Yeah, and when you are that close to Johnson County, and most of the kids that go to school are from that area, that just go out to Lawrence for a couple of years vacation, you got the money from the alumni to do whatever the hell you want. All right, so you might not know this, but just like with the NFL, there are the openers. It's not the way it's supposed to be, but it traditionally is the champion playing on the opening night. Same case for the NBA?
It is indeed. And the champion Denver Nuggets will play. And that's October 24th is when the NBA season. National Hockey League's already underway. As a matter of fact, the St. Louis Blues have their opener tonight. It's on the road in Dallas, but the Blues will open. Basketball is October 24th. And the first game, of course, it's for television purposes. The Denver Nuggets, who are the reigning NBA world champions, take on whom else? LeBron and company, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers. That'll be the first game. There one other later on that night. TV has this all worked out. But, yep, October 24th is when it gets underway, only to end, and this is interesting, it'll probably end with the championships next June. That's how long this season goes, folks. But over and above all that is the Olympics, which is in Paris later in the summer, later in July. And many of those NBA stars have said, we want to play. We want that red, white, and blue back with the gold medal.
They want to go party in France is what they want to do. And can you blame them? So watched the video yesterday. Bryce Harper just destroying the ball. And when he's running the bases, he just catches the eye of a defensive player on the other team. And he stared that dude down after that double play the night before. I was like, oh, man, I could feel the hate.
It was the double play, of course, was really not Harper's fault. It was aggressive baseball, and the ball was caught up against the wall, and he couldn't get back to first. Well, that was part of it. The other part was that player, Arcia, who had made some caustic comments in the locker room, and Harper didn't like that at all. So Harper took it out on him with 2 home runs. Matter of fact, Philadelphia hit 6 home runs last night. That ties a postseason Major League Baseball record for numbers of home runs hit in one game. 6 of them. Philadelphia wins at 10-2. Series isn't over. They will play game 4 tonight. Philadelphia leads at 2-1. A win for Philadelphia tonight, and that series is all over. The other 3 series are over. So this is the only one in action, getting ready for the league championships, which now goes to best of 7, and it begins on Sunday and Monday. The National League is Monday night. American League is Sunday. They will go to the American League. Philadelphia wins 10-2 and goes for the clincher tonight. We'll see. Philadelphia's crowd is unbelievable.
Oh, speaking of that, the funniest thing I read after watching that video of him staring him down was that nothing is better than a Philadelphia player reacting and doing this out of spite. And is that true?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Without question, it's true.
I know
hey, I'm native there.
I know you are.
I've seen the booing the Santa Claus. That all did happen. Of course, it was a substitute Santa Claus, but
it doesn't matter.
They booed him anyway. Throwing snowballs at Santa Claus and throwing snowballs at the mayor when he got. It's not criminal activity, but it's pretty close.
What happened to the city of brotherly love, man?
Shove.
Yeah, the brotherly shove.
And the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles, are taking that to full advantage because that's what they have, the Philly shove into the end zone. Hey, it's an interesting place, believe me. Anyway, that series is still in effect. They play again tonight. And folks in Philadelphia and maybe baseball fans will be watching that. The rest of them will be watching the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. But over and above that, American League is all over. The Houston Astros, the reigning World Series champions, clipped the Minnesota Twins 3-2 last night, so the Astros win that, and that, Mike, sets up an all-Texas American League playoff. The Texas Rangers, Houston Astros, not only all-Texas, they are in the same division, so it's a best of 7, and they are both. Whoever wins that, it's not a surprise. They are both great teams. Texas, the Rangers, have a really solid hitting ball club. The Astros, veteran team that's won the World Series championship. Dusty Baker, their manager. This will be a heck of a series. The National League is 1/2 over. The Arizona Diamondbacks sweeping the Dodgers. They did it at another record. This is 4 home runs in 1 inning.
Wow.
And that was the final score, 4-2. The Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers last night. They sweep the Dodgers 3-0. This is a team that finished 18 games back of the Dodgers in the regular season, and they come on and win in the playoffs. Now, how do you explain that? It's baseball.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
how it happens. Anyway, the Diamondbacks hit 4 home runs in 1 inning, all solo homers, and win the game 4-2. The Arizona pitching was sensational. The Dodgers pitching was not very good at all. They had Lance Lynn on the hill last night, former Springfield Cardinal from many years back. But that sets the stage now for the Diamondbacks, Arizona Diamondbacks, who went to the World Series in 2001. That's the last time they were there. Have been in the playoffs, I think, once since then, if I'm not mistaken. But they've had kind of a difficult run against whomever, Atlanta or Philadelphia. And right now, Philadelphia has the lead, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, now all that, because really just the state of Texas is going to be caring about the American League. We'll see what happens in the NL after Game 4 tonight. But the Chiefs are taking on the most hated Denver Broncos, Arrowhead Stadium. Ned Talk starts at 5, and we will be over at Coyote Sports Cafe starting around 6 o'clock. Your chance to get some cards from Fast Break Sports, 20 bonus entries to win our flyaway to Vegas. I'm still trying to get Ned to come with us, but he doesn't think he can.
Well, we're here at 5 o'clock, and it's live.
No, I'm talking about when we go to Vegas in November.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Keep talking.
I know. I've been trying to plant that seed for weeks now. But either way, come out to Coyotes. If you're not going to Kansas City tonight, next best place to watch the game outside of Arrowhead. And then Ned and the boys will start at 5, right?
That's exactly right. 5 to 6 on Ned Talk. That's the pre-game show. Then we join the Chiefs Network from 6 to 7, and then the ball game itself, which will start probably 7:15, somewhere in that vicinity. Chiefs are a 10.5-point favorite, should beat the Denver Broncos, but I think you said it accurately earlier. In the NFL, hey, anything can happen.
Not
Denver
in the AFC
does
West.
have one win this year, but it's a troubled franchise, and they've had nothing but difficulty. Still, I think I like Kansas City's chances.
I do too, but again, you can't be on your laurels. Look to week 1 against the Colts. We lost by 1 point to a team we definitely should have beaten all day long. Ned, have a great day, and go Chiefs!